Hello students, today we are going to study the data encoding techniques of digital communication. It comes under the topic number 2, that is baseband transmission. Encoding is the process of converting the data or a given sequence of characters, symbols, alphabets into a specified format for a secure transmission of the data. And the decoding is the reverse process. Decoding is the reverse process of encoding, which is extract the information from the converted format. So this is nothing but the encoding and decoding. Data encoding. Encoding is the process of using various pattern of voltage or current levels to represent the ones and zeros of the digital signal on the transmission link. The common type of the line encoding are the unipolar, bipolar, polar and Manchester. So this is a part of the line code which is already published on my YouTube channel. So this is the part of the data line coding, that is the data encoding. Encoding techniques. The data encoding technique is divided into the following types depending upon the type of the data conversion, that is analog to data to analog signal. So in this the modulation techniques such as amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation of analog signal fall under this category where the analog signal is converted into the analog signals. Next, analog data to the digital signal. In this process can be termed as a digitization, which is done by the pulse code modulation PCM, and hence it is nothing but the digital modulations. As we have already discussed, the sampling and quantization are the important factors in this, and the delta modulation gives the better output than the PCM. This is the analog data to the digital, where PCM, DM, ADM converts the analog input signal into the pulses. So that is nothing but the analog data into the digital signals. Next, digital data into the analog. The modulation techniques such as amplitude shift keying, that is ASK, frequency shift keying, FSK, phase shift keying, PSK, falls under this category where the digital data input signal is a digital data and converts into the analog signal. So these are the digital modulation techniques. Digital data, next technique is digital data to digital signals, and there are in this section there are several ways to map the digital data to the digital signals. Next, non-return to zero, that is NRZ. So NRZ code has 1 for the high voltage level and 0 for the low voltage level. The main behavior of the NRZ code is that voltage level remains constant during the bit interval. Thus, end and start of a bit will not be indicated and it will maintain the same voltage state. If the value of previous bit and the value of the present bit are the same, so it can be done as a like this. So here the 1 to 0, that is non-return to 0 code. So 0 is as it is, and from 0 to 1 it is reverse to this. So as there is a no observational bit interval, the receiver may face the difficulty in distinguishing the one 0 to the other 0. If the above example is considered, as there is a long sequence of the constant voltage level and the clock synchronization may be lost in this case due to the absence of the bit interval, and it becomes difficult for the receiver to differentiate between the zeros and ones. So there are two variations in the NRZ, that is the NRZ-L or NRZ level, and there is a change in the polarity of the signal only when incoming signal changes from 1 to 0 or from the 0 to 1. So there is a change. It is similar to the it is the same as the NRZ. However, the first bit of the input signal should have the change the polarity. Next type is the NRZ-R, that is inverted. If one occurs at the incoming signal, then there occurs a transition at the beginning of the bit interval. And for the 0 of at the incoming signal, there is a no transition at the beginning of the interval. So this is NRZ inverted. NRZ codes have the disadvantage that the synchronization of the transmitter clock with the receiver clock gets completely distributed when there is a string of ones and zeros are available. Hence, the separate clock lines need to be provided. Biphase encoding. The signal levels is checked twice for the bit for every bit time. The both initially and in the middle. Hence, the clock rate is doubled, and the data transfer rate and thus modulation rate is also doubled. The clock is taken from the signal itself, and the bandwidth requirement for this coding is greater. So there are two kind of the biphase encoding, that is biphase Manchester and differential Manchester. So what is meant by the biphase Manchester? In this type of the coding, the transition is done at the middle bit of the interval, that is from the 0 to 1 or from the 1 to 0. And the transition for the resultant pulse is from high to low in the middle of the interval, that is high to low for the 1 bit. For the 1 bit it is high to low, and while transition for the 0 it is from low to high, that is while the transition is from low to high for the input bit 0. So this is nothing but the biphase Manchester. So for the biphase Manchester, if the data input bit is 1, so the transition is from high to low of the middle of the interval. And if data bit is 0, then the transition is from low to high. Next, differential Manchester. So in this type of the coding, there is always occurs a transition in the middle of the bit interval. If there occurs a transition at the beginning of the bit interval, then the input bit is 0. And if no transition occurs at the beginning of the bit of the interval, then the input bit is 0. So it can be represented by the this diagram. So NRZL leveling and NRZL inverted. So 1 is represented as the presence of the pulse, 0 is represented as the absence of pulse. Again 1 triple 0 1 1 0. Inverted pulse, so 1 is represented as a 0 and 0 is represented as a no pulse. Again 1 is represented as a positive pulse, and again inverted means invert of the pulse, so 0. Again 1 is represented at the negative pulse because already positive pulse is done, so negative. And the again next one is represented as a positive pulse, and next 0 is represented as a positive. So this is kind of the NRZ inverter. By phase Manchester is 1 is represented as a half bit duration positive pulse and half bit duration negative pulse. 0 is represented as a half bit negative pulse and half bit duration positive pulse. Again 1 half bit positive negative, 0 half bit negative positive, 0 again negative positive, again 0 negative positive, and again 1 positive negative, again 1 positive negative. And differential code, differential Manchester, if 1 is available, the transition from the high to the low. Again 0 is available, it is from high to the low, and 1 is again available, so it is inverted, 0 to the high, low to high, again 0 low to high. So this is the differential Manchester. Block coding. Among the type of the block coding, the famous ones are the 4B by 5B encoding and 8B by 6B encoding. The number of bits are processed in the different manners in both of these processes. 4B by 5B encoding. In the Manchester coding, to send the data, the clock with double speed is required rather than the NRZ coding. And here, as the name implies, the 4B or 4 bits of codes is mapped with the 5 bits with the minimum number of 1 bit in the group. So that is 4B by 5. That is 4 bit of code is mapped with the 5 bits and with minimum number of 1 bit in the group. The clock synchronization problem in NRZ-I encoding is avoided by assigning an equivalent word of 5 bits in the place of the each block of 4 consecutive bits. So if there are 4 consecutive bits, so it that clock synchronization NRZ-I encoding. So for the assigning the 5 bits instead of the 4 consecutive bits, and these 5 bits words is predetermined in the dictionary. So the basic idea of the selecting the 5-bit code is that it should have the one leading zero and it should have no more than two trailing zeros. Hence these words are chosen such that two consecutive take place per block of the bits. 8-bit by 60 encoding. We have used two voltage levels to send a single bit over a single signal. But if we use the more than three voltage levels, we can send the bits per signal. For example, if 6 voltage levels are used to represent the 8 bits on a single signal, then such encoding is termed as a 8 bits by 60. That is 8 bits by 60 or levels encoding. Hence in this method we have summarized, that is 729, that is 3 raised to 6 combinations for a signal, and 256 is for 2 raised to 8 combinations for bits. So there are techniques mostly used for converting the digital data into digital signals by compressing or coding them for the reliable transmission of the data. So 8 bit by 6 voltage levels, that is encoding schemes. Next one, intersymbol interference. This is the form of the distortion of the signal in which one or more symbols interference with the subsequent signal and causing the noise and delivering a poor output and causes the intersymbol interference. So there are two main causes of the intersymbol interference, that is multipath propagation and non-linear frequency of the channel. The intersymbol interference is unwanted and should be completely eliminated to get the clean output. The cause of the intersymbol interference should be resolved in order to lessen its effect. To view the intersymbol interference mathematical form present in the receiver output, we can consider the receiver output. So receiving output y is the sample at TB period. So we can take I as an integer. For this derivation you can use the pen and paper so you can understand the receiving output, which is considered as a intersymbol interference. So y of t is equal to mu of summation k is equal to minus infinity a k p of tb minus ktb, that is mu ai plus mu summation minus infinity to infinity a k p I tb minus k tb. In the above equation, the first term mu ai is produced by the ith transmitted bit, and the second term is nothing but the residual effect of all other transmitted bits on the encoding of the ith bit. This residual effect is called as the intersymbol interference. And in the absence of the intersymbol interference, you will get the output y of t is equal to mu ai. This equation shows that ith bit transmitted is correctly reproduced. However, the presence of intersymbol interference, the bit error and the distortion in the output. And while the designing of the transmitter or a receiver, it is important that you minimize the effects of intersymbol interference so as to receive the output with least possible error rate. Correlative coding. So as we know, the intersymbol interference is an unwanted phenomenon and degrades the quality of the signal. But the intersymbol interference is used in the controlled manner. It is possible to achieve the bit rate of 2W bits per second in the channel bandwidth W Hz. Such scheme is called as a correlative coding or partial response signaling scheme. So in correlative coding, we can control the intersymbol interference to achieve the double bit rate in the single channel bandwidth W Hz. So this is nothing but the correlative coding or partial response signaling scheme. Since the amount of intersymbol interference is known, it is easy to design the receiver accordingly to requirements so as to avoid the effects of intersymbol interference on the signal, and the basic idea of the correlative coding is achieved by considering an example of the DO binary signaling. So in DO binary signaling means the doubling the binary system transmission capability To understand this, let us consider the input sequence AK consisting of uncorrelated binary bits having the duration Ta. In this signal, 1 is represented by positive 1 volt and 0 is represented as a negative 1 volt. So the DO binary coder CK output is given as a sum of the present binary digit AK and the previous value AK minus 1. So the equation will become CK is equal to AK plus AK minus 1. And the above equation states that the input sequence is uncorrelated binary sequence AK and the change into the sequence correlated 3 levels CK. This correlation between the pulse may understood as an intersymbol interference in the transmitted signal in an artificial manner. So let us discuss the eye pattern. An effective way to study the intersymbol interference in eye pattern, named as the eye pattern, was given its resemblance to human eye for the binary waves. The interior region of the eye pattern is called as the eye opening, and the following figure is shown as an eye pattern. So this is the best time to the sample. This is the measures of the jitter. This is nothing but the signal to noise ratio. This is nothing but the signal to noise ratio at the sampling point. This is nothing but the slope indicates the sensitivity to timing error. The smallest the better, smaller the better. Jitter is the short-term variation of instant of the digital signal from its ideal position, which may lead the data errors. When the effect of intersymbol interference increases, trackage from the upper position to the lower position of the eye opening increases and eye gets completely closed. If the eye gets completely closed, the intersymbol interference is very high and the eye opening is maximum, then intersymbol interference is low. An eye pattern provides the following information about the particular system. The actual eye patterns are used to estimate the bit error rate and the signal to noise ratio. The width of the eye opening width defines the time interval over which the received wave can be sampled without error from an IS, intersymbol interference. So eye opening is indicated as a width of the eye opening is indicated as the time interval over which received wave can be sampled without ISI. The instant of time when the eye opening is wide will be preferred time for the sampling. So it will be good time for the sampling. And the rate of the closure of the eye according to the sampling time determines how sensitivity the system to the timing error, and the height of the eye opening at the simplified sampling time defines the margin over the noise, and hence interpretation of the eye pattern is very important for the consideration. Next one is the equalization. For the reliable communication to be established, we have to need the good quality of the output. The transmission losses of the channel and other factors affecting the quality of the signal have to be treated. And the most occurring loss, as we discussed, that is intersymbol interference. To make the signal free from the intersymbol interference and to ensure the maximum signal to noise ratio, we need to implement the method called as equalization. So due to the equalization, we can reduce the effect of the intersymbol interference. This is the figure shows the equalizer in the receiver portions of the communication system, and the noise and interference are denoted in the figure are likely to occur during the transmission. And the repetitive generator has the equalizer circuit which compensate the transmission losses by shaping the circuit, and equalizing is feasible to get implemented. So this is the digital source is send the input to the pulse shaping, again actual channel where at the noise and interference will get added. So this is the received analog output. So we can sample at the TS period, and that sample signal is provided to the linear digital equalizer. So decision device will take the decision about the coming amplitude, whether that amplitude level of the amplitude indicates the 1 bit or the 0 bit. So in this way the equalization minimizes the intersymbol interference. Error probability and the figure of merit. The rate at which the data can be communicated is called as a data rate. And the rate at which the error occurs in the bits while transmitting the data is called the bit error rate, BER. And the probability occurrence of the BER, that is bit error rate, is the error probability. The increase in the signal to noise ratio SNR decreases the bit error rate. If SNR increases, the bit error rate decreases. Hence, error probability gets decreased. In analog receiver, the figure of merit at the detection process can be termed as the ratio of the output SNR to the input SNR, and the greater value of the figure of merit will be advantageous. Thank you.